right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the apostle of great millstone, our teachers, and salutation to the argument teaching is true, all the folk on the earth and true in the city, man. Risking their life for the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, week in, week out. This is just a hot topic. Lately, man, if you've been watching the news, hey, this the year of prophecy, 2020. Apostle Taha redeemed this year, the year of prophecy, man. And prophecy been going crazy, left and right. And the more and more you're starting to pay attention to the news, if you've been watching the news and stuff, hey, this George, I forget his last name, but this killing that happened in Minnesota, right? With the police officer putting his knee on his neck and everything, it's finna bring in martial law, cause Trump already told the government, where the government already said that he brought in the National Guard, and now Trump tweeted this morning and said that if he don't contain the situation, it's gonna bring in the military, bringing in martial law. And we all know, because there's been reports that this guy that started it was a police officer. And we already know that Esau, New World Order, word is order out of chaos, meaning order out of chaos. And with all these riots, which the scripture prophesy about, hey, he's going to bring in that martial law. We approaching Jacob's trouble. So, for no further ado, man, let's start in the second Esdras, man. Because, hey, it's exciting times, man. We approaching some bad times pretty soon, man. And that situation is spreading like a wildfire. Hey, it was a shooting in Louisiana. 7 people got shot. LA is protesting and causing riots. They blowing up targets. They blowing up police stations. Targets is being raided. So all hell is breaking loose. But the scriptures tell you about these things. It's second Esdras 9 verse 1. It's saying, answer me then and said, measure the town diligently in itself, and when thou see parts of the sign pass, which I have told thee before, right? So we supposed to be paying attention and watching these things that's occurring, the main events, because hey, soon in your city or in your state or whatever you at, it's going to be martial law there too. It's going to be chaos everywhere, man. Pretty soon. It's like verse 2. Then shall thou understand that it's the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And that's the time we living in. The Lord is about to return and gather his elect that he have chosen, that being faithful and preaching his word throughout the folk on the earth and warning the people. But before he return, it's signs on the earth that shall happen. We ain't got to get it, but we know about Matthew 24. When they say earthquakes and tempests and things like that, man, wars, and we still in a war right now. I believe China and India is in war right now. Taiwan and China is in war right there in the Sina Sea. Venezuela and Iran delivered oil to Venezuela. And Venezuela had to have their National Guard protected while the Americans are in the sea over there right now. So certain things is popping off, man, right before our eyes. Why we in this pandemic? Hey, because COVID-19 have not left. It's going to get worse. Verse 3, it say, therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. And that's what we approaching. Uproars, man. Hey, because these people is going to come against the government. They're going to get tired of that, because guess what? Racism been a topic lately. A lot of Jake been getting killed, which is nothing new. Jake been getting killed for many years. Cops been shooting down Jake or these people for many years, man. Many years. But now all of a sudden, Jake is, well, you know, Esau is creating this chaos, but still, Jake is getting roused up. Because, hey, this is all the plan of the Most High. Let's keep reading, verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spared these things from the day that were before, even from the beginning. For as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And we approaching the end right now. That's why Esau is creating this chaos, martial law, and Jake is eating it up, man. It's eating it up. Because guess what? It tell you in Revelations. Let's get that. It's a lie there. This Revelations 12, verse 12. It reads, Therefore rejoice ye heaven, and ye that dwell in. Woe unto the heaven of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he know that he have but a short time. So now Esau is moving fast, especially with this pandemic. It is vaccines and to roll in what the FRD chip. But now, because people want the government to open up and everything, but now he's creating more chaos because guess what? He wanted intimate martial law. That was the whole reason of him shutting down the country, locking the country down to move the military into the cities. And that's what you're starting to see. So now the more and more chaos is created, he's going to have to step in to solve the solution, man. And that's what you get. Pressure above and pressure below. Order out of chaos, meaning what? You keep created chaos and then you come with a solution, and these people is going to buy it up, man, because these people are scared. Why you think if you watch a lot of these Minnesota riots and videos, people still have on masks? Going into the store and everything, man, because now it's programmed in their mind of fear, man, and that's what Esau want, fear. Because when you have fear, you can control people. People will do whatever you say, and that's what we approaching these bad times. So back in this, matter of fact, let's get a pre-sale because we at the end. This second Esdras 6. In verse 8, 7. And then answered I and said, What shall the pardon ascend of time, and when shall be the end of the first and the beginning that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham, and to Isaac, from Jacob, and to Esau were born of him. Jacob's hand held first on the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world. So the so-called age, because that's all the world go into, meaning what? The end of this rulership, the end of this age. And we approaching what? It's Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. So we got next. We gonna rule the world next, man. And Esau is gonna be our slave. So that's why he's moving fast to what? To establish the new world order. To get the mark of the beast done. To bring in a new currency. But slowly and surely, you're going to start seeing what? The dollar. People don't even use the dollar. People shop online. And that's all because of the pandemic. So people can stop using cash and get on what? That digital currency. The 5G, the 6G network. If you've been paying attention to certain things, your internet been moving slow. Because guess what? He did the same thing with 4G, G3. Where he starts slowing down your network so what you can push you towards the network coming in. And what's that? 5G. That's why he set up these towers. It's all according to his plan. And man, we living in exciting times. It say back in the second Esdras 9, verse 6. Even so the time also of the highest have plainly begun in wonder and power of works and any effects of signs. And everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by his faith, by ye have believed, man. So you have to be putting in that work, and you also have to believe. Because when you believe, you're going to show your works. And that's how you get saved. So everyone is not going to get saved, man. So some people is going to die, and some people is going to be saved through this pandemic that we're approaching, where there's order and chaos. And Esau know. Esau read the scriptures, man. Esau is not worried about Jake, man. Because Jake still docile. Jake still want to stay here. This Jeremiah 30:7. It said, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. So we're approaching times that never been upon the face of the earth. It say, it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it, man. Who? Meaning the elect, the ones that believe and was chosen from the beginning. Hey, they're going to be saved out of this chaos that's coming. Out of this martial law. Which is proven to be what? Martial law. Hey, the military is going to be active, man. Soon. Just watch. And it's just not going to be in Minnesota. It's going to be all through 50 states of America, man. The same thing that's happening overseas, the same thing that's coming over here. And soon it's going to be to a theater near you. Let's get another precept, man. This Daniel 12:1. It say, Salakia. This Daniel 12:1. It say, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince will stand for the children of my people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was seen. There was a nation even at that same time. And Esau know, hey, it's been reported a famine coming, and these times are the end. Food shortage, Wendy's not serving beef. Stores prices is going up. You go to the store, you don't get certain meats not in the shelves, man. Stores is not being restacked. Hey, because we approaching some bad times, man. Which, man, it's easy. It's nothing for Esau to open back up these factories, man, and make more chemical food, man. Because that's all you eating is chemical food. But guess what? He's this new boogeyman, COVID-19, to slow those things down. Why bringing this chaos? Why bringing in martial law? And also by bringing in that vaccination, meaning the FRD chip, which we are leading to, man. It say, and at that time that people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. And remember, if you want a group of people shall be saved. So if you're not written in the book of life, you won't be saved, man. But how you get there? By doing what? Being diligent, being faithful in the name of Yahweh Shemel Shai, so he can what? Deliver you in the time that's come. And we living in terrible times, like the scriptures have talked about, man. That's why everybody been reading. If you've been noticed, Bible been what? The #1 book off the shelves, man. People been talking about, man, we living in the last days. Because people know it's in their spirit, man. They know that something not right. But they can't put their finger on what it is. But the Lord have blessed your eyes to see these things, man. Consider yourself blessed, man. Because you can say you and yourself. I mean, you and your household. Salakia. This second Esdras. Let's get the 15th chapter, man. It say, this second Esdras 15 in verse 4. For the sword shall their destruction draw nigh. Salakia. Second Esdras 15 and 14. Salakia. Let me 1 second. Sorry about that. This second Esdras 15 verse 14. It say, Woe unto the world and them that dwell in. For the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hand. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their king, nor prince, or the court of the action shall stand in their power. And that's what you're starting to see. Uprisings. These people burning down police stations, busing police cars. It's going to be repercussions behind that, man. You think these people want to get away with that? Burning down police stations and busing police cars out and fighting the police back? It's going to be uprisings soon, man. Verse 17. A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able, and that's martial law. When they said lock these borders down, which you seen that in a little bit with this COVID-19. They was blocking certain interstates off. You can't go here, you can't go there. But it's going to get even worse, especially in Chicago. Wait till they up downtown. Let the bridges up. You're not going to be able to get to the north side. You're not going to be able to get to the west side of Chicago when they have checkpoints and things like that, man. Verse 18. For because of pride the city shall be troubled, for the house shall be afraid, and man should be destroyed, and man shall be afraid, man. And that's why these things is happening, because of pride. People, you can't tell people nothing. You tell people that this, and that's that. They know they're gonna do it their way, and that's the MO of American, man. Even people that's in wheelchairs or blind, they be proudful. You can't even tell them nothing. Older woman or man, you tell them sir, or they bump into you, they look at you like you wrong, man. That's pride. Verse 19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their house with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. And that's what's about to come. Because when these stores dry up, or when chaos in the streets, hey, that's what's going to happen. When military going door to door, that's what's going to happen. When this famine increase, when there's no food, I'm talking about no food at all, man. Your next destination is probably the man that stay next to you, or your family member or something, man. It say many of shall wax cold, man. It said friends shall fight like enemies, man. So you're gonna really see who really love you in that day. You're gonna really see who was down for you in that day, man. Pretty soon, when all hell break loose, and we live in some serious times, excited times, man, because we one more a step closer to getting out of here. So that's just a quick lesson, just talking on this topic, man. It's a hot topic, man. Prophecy is being fulfilled, and expect this the new normal, man. Martial law in the streets. This pandemic is going to be a second wave reported, man, of this COVID-19, and they're going to get they're going to lock certain things down even more harder, especially with these protests in LA. With this overall with LA, June 1st, if you didn't go get tested, hey, they gonna cut off your benefits. So if you get food stamps or public aid or anything like that, man, they're gonna cut you off. So a lot of people are gonna start getting homeless, and it's gonna cause chaos soon, man. Soon, and it's gonna come here, it's gonna come there, wherever you at. Because hey, this man is rolling out his agenda. So, matter of fact, let's get that Job, man. Let's end it with Job. Because hey, so what, Esau? Bring the chaos, bring this, man. But guess what? Hey, this the end of your rope, man. This Job 20 and 22. It say, in the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him when he is about to fill his belly. And what's that? Finish with his new world order, creating this chaos, bringing in a solution, which is the mark of the beast, right? It say Yahweh shall cast his fury on his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Right? And he shall flee, and that's what it is. That's going to the destruction. But and that's what it is. The Lord is about to come back and disappoint the crafty, man. Meaning what, the wicked, and set his man and his people on high, man. So with that, this is a quick lesson touching on this topic, man. A order out of chaos, meaning the new world order, order out of chaos, man. And that's what we approaching. Bad times and martial law in the streets, man. Until next time, I want to say, call Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, double honor to the apostle and great millstone, our teachers, and salutations to the icon teaching this truth of the folk on the earth in Tune City, man. Till next time, I want to say, Shalom and a ball.